The buildup of it?
Positive to
I'm probably, there are growth factors in, that control the growth of the balance sheets and other factors. But I don't know, I couldn't say exactly, I'm just guessing. But probably something about the growth factor makes the balance sheets build up. In multiple sclerosis, the balance sheets break down. And so the person has trouble controlling their movements as a result of that. Okay. Now I wanted to say a word about signal coding. And what we've been talking about so far is how neurons work. And the bottom line answer is the neurons work by either firing or not firing. That's what all neurons do. They can either fire or not fire. But in signal coding, the question is, how does this on-off firing pattern define the function of a given neuron? I guess we're through with this. Look at your study guides for a minute and see if I already defined signal coding. I think I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just explain it. So since all neurons can either fire or not fire, how is it that the function of a neuron is determined? The answer is the location of a neuron determines its function or its meaning. For example, a neuron located in this back part of the brain, called the visual cortex, when it is stimulated, it will make you see something because it's located here. Okay? A neuron located in what's called the sensory motor strip. Okay, this, when we do, if we ever get a chance to do sheep brain dissection, it's not one of the labs that's scheduled, but I'm going to see if I can bring in a sheep brain. If you look at this wrinkle called the precentral gyrus, shaded in this red color, all right, and this is the postcentral gyrus shaded in the blue color. Studies have been done that if you stimulate this one wrinkle, let's take the this blue wrinkle called the gyrus. All right, it goes around, the brain is facing this way. All right, and then half of the brain goes down in the middle like this, in the middle hemisphere. And if you stimulate on the middle of this one wrinkle, then, all right, so imagine that this is a cross-section of the brain like so. We're looking at the left side of this person's brain, the person is facing that way. And so slicing it like this, and then turning it like this. This represents the left part of this brain slice. Now, if you took an electrode and you cut off, open this person's scalp under anesthesia, cut off the skull so that you just expose the brain, and then you use an electrode that produces about a 30 millivolt stimulus. If you stimulate the inside of the brain is like this, facing you, we're now turning it. And so this is the inside of the brain, like this. If you stimulate it here, the person will say that my right toe is being stimulated, okay? This brain is facing that way. This is the left side of the brain, this is the right side of the brain, the right side of the body. And so the right toe is represented by these cells located here. You stimulate over here, you can stimulate the different toes like that. As you come up, the person will say, okay, now I feel the stimulus in the top of my right foot. All right, okay, I feel the stimulus a little further up my foot. If I stimulate here, okay, I feel the stimulus in my ankle. And point for point, every surface of your body that you can feel is represented in this one wrinkle, okay? In this orange wrinkle called the precentral gyrus, if you stimulate here, then you're gonna move the toe. Here, you feel the toe. This is a sensory cortex, this is a motor cortex, all right? And you will cause the toes to twitch, come up here, the ankle will twitch, okay? Muscles that control the leg will be stimulated, but over here you will feel something, point for point. The bigger the area that's represented here, like this big hand, means that there are a lot of cells that control the movement of the hand. That's why the hand can move so much. But hardly any cells control the elbow. All it has to do is this and that. So the point is, it's the location of a neuron that determines its function. It's how rapid the neuron fires that determines the intensity of the signal. So if I touch here once, the patient might say, okay, I feel a tingling on my big toe, on the opposite side of my body, on the right side. But now if I stimulate at this point over and over again, the person will say, now my big toe is hurting or it's stinging. So the intensity, the rapidity of the stimulus will determine the intensity of the signal. The location of the signal determines the function of the signal, what is being sensed, what is being moved, or whatever the case is. And that is what's referred to as signal coding. The way by which the on-off firing pattern of neurons takes on its particular functions in the nervous system. Okay, so that's plenty for today.